Right. The reason we're coming out of that is that we want to take you to ENCA's Khayelihle Khumalo, who is on standby at the home of the late Andrew Mlangeni for more tributes and reflections. Khaya, I understand you are joined by the chairperson of the Andrew and June Mlangeni Foundation.
Well, that's right, Tilasisa. So it's a hive of activity here in Soweto, just outside the home of the struggle stalwart. So the chair is just going to join us now, really, to reflect on such a very sad day. So, chair of the foundation and Deputy Minister Mkhize, thank you so much indeed for your time. Let's just look at today's sad occasion. So the country is reflecting on such a legacy of the late Ntate Mlangeni.
Thank you very much for being with us. I think these hours are critical since what happened last night, in the sense that, there's this confusion. Is she really gone? We are grateful for the years, but how do we pick up the pieces? So it's a very confused morning, I must say. But what really one is keeping close to the heart, to warm the heart, is the commitments that Mlangeni made as a young person to fight for the liberation of his country. But there are many people who stood up. What really touches me the most, as you can see where we are sitting, there was a time as a foundation where we began to say that Mlangeni, this house is too small for you now. You are the only surviving Rivonia trialist. And then he said, which means what? I did whatever I did because I believed in a cause I was involved with my comrades. And after that, I have no claims. Nobody owes me anything. So there's this rich, life that has just disappeared from us, which we're trying to internalize, understand, appreciate, and lifetime commitment on what is right without making any claims on anything. So I think this day one is the reality is hitting us, and to say, how do we then unpack this? How do we take it forward? How do we ensure that it's not something which is in a piece of paper like a book, which he personally edited almost on a daily basis, and would say, no, this is not true, this is correct. So he's no more here, but we have to try to understand everything and start this generational dialogue in terms of saying, who is Ntate Mlangeni? What made him to take a stand and make such a huge contribution? And why didn't he make any claims since 1994? Never fought for any position. That's what he will tell you. He said, when you contest and you fight for positions, you shock me. When you say, Ntate Mlangeni, you must fight for me, this and this, and say, why? Why do you want anything? Who owes you what? For what? So it's a kind of a person we have lost.
Yes. And just, Prof, in terms of the family, obviously, I would imagine they're still coming to terms with the tragedy. But at this point, how are they coping?
The sisters, I was laughing this morning because everybody wanted some tablets for headache, for this, and I said, no, you've got it all wrong. We have to face this day for what it is, which shows that, sometimes people, when they get old, like on the day when he was leaving, Silo told me that he said, hey, Silo, I don't think I will come back here. Somehow it's like he had a feeling that I'm leaving this house for the last time. So the family, there's that confusion and pain, where they all wanted to take something to cope. I think it's the first few hours since about 10 p.m. last night. And with the support from the community, I'm hoping that each day is going to get better and better.
And just before I let you go, Prof, you as a foundation now, you have a massive task of preserving his legacy, of making sure that this principled man, generation knows that he once existed.
Well, you see, Dr. Mlangeni was a very kind person, loved life and fun when you are with him. But I think on 2 occasions he wanted to disband the foundation and said everybody must resign. So now he's no longer there to pick up a fight with the foundation. It's a huge responsibility, as you are saying, to really say, let's position this not as a rhetoric or the usual, these political statements we make, long live Dr. Mlangeni and so on, but to say, let's unpack this life in such a way that whether a person was there, was born, was not born, can relate to it. It must shock a person and say, okay, there was a revolution, there was a struggle, but there were people who were genuine within it, who continued even in the midst of opportunities and privileges, who didn't touch those, who remained true to the cause.
All right, Prof, thank you so much indeed for the reflection. And once again, condolences to you and the entire family of the ANC. So that's, of course, the foundation of the June and Andrew Mlangeni's chair, Prof Hlengo Mkhize, and also the Deputy Minister, reflecting on the legacy of such a very principled man, coming from a generation that was willing to pay a heavy price just to fight for equality as South Africa that they dreamt of. So during the course of the day, we'll give you all the latest. We're expecting to speak to the family shortly, just during the course of the afternoon.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Khayelihle Khumalo, for that update.